Good day. Welcome back to our sixth lesson on graph interpretation with nature of roots. This is a very important concept, so let's look at the next problem. In this example, they say to us it's given fx equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. And the first question is to sketch the graph of f showing all relevant details. So you will notice the difference between this one and the one in the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, the graph was given to us. Now, before they ask us questions on this, they want us to do the sketching of this graph first. So let's just do all the calculations of these critical values. We want to calculate x-intercepts, y-intercept, axis of symmetry, and turning point. So let's start with axis of symmetry. You will remember the formula to calculate the axis of symmetry is minus b over 2a. And now we just substitute. As you can see, our b is positive 2 with a negative, so it's minus 2 over 2 times, and a is, as you can see, is 1. So that means that our axis of symmetry will be at minus 1. To find the turning point, we're going to substitute this x equal to minus 1 back into fx. So we're going to find the f of minus 1, and that will give us minus 1 squared plus 2 times minus 1 minus the 3. And you agree that this will give us negative 1 squared is 1. If I multiply, I get minus 2 minus 3. So we have positive 1 minus 2 minus 3, which will give us minus 4. So that means that our turning point is minus 1 minus 4. So if you look at our grid here, it means our turning point will be right here where x is at minus 1 and y is at minus 4. So now we're going to look at the x-intercepts. And that is where we substitute y with 0. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. And I factorize this. X and x, factors of 3 is 3 and 1. And because the 2 is positive, the bigger number must get the positive. So that means that x will be minus 3 or x will be equal to 1. So now we can plot these x-intercepts on our grid. So it's at x equal to minus 3 and x equal to 1. The last thing that we need to calculate is the y-intercept, and that is where we substitute x with 0. And that is quite clear to see that y will be equal to negative 3. So that is our y-intercept, and on the y-axis, we will plot the point at negative 3. I think it's now clear how this parabola will look like. So we're going to draw this parabola now right here at minus 3, turn here at minus 1, minus 4, intersect the y-axis at minus 3, and intersect the x-axis at 1. So let us quickly draw this graph. So as you can see now, our parabola intersect x-axis at minus 3, the turning point right here at minus 1, minus 4, intersect the y-axis at minus 3, and the x-axis at positive 1. So this is the first part of this question, that they ask us to sketch this parabola, and they ask us to show all the relevant details. And that means the x-intercepts, y-intercept, and turning point. Let's now look at the next question. In this question, they ask us for which values of k will this equation, and you will recognize this as the parabola, x squared plus 2x minus 3, equal to k have non-real roots? Now, you hopefully remember from our previous lesson that we spoke about the non-real roots, the equal roots, and the two distinct roots. Now, for non-real roots, you will hopefully remember that we draw the horizontal line of y equal to k. We're going to draw it below the turning point. Remember our turning point minus 1, minus 4. So we draw it below this turning point. Whenever we want equal roots, we will draw it at the turning point. And if we want two distinct real roots, we will draw it above the turning point. So for this one, we're going to draw it below the turning point. So this horizontal line, I'm going to draw it right there below my turning point, and this is the line y equal to k, because it's the parabola that is equal to that constant k. So it's two simultaneous equations. That k is a constant, so that is a horizontal line. So now we can write down our answer, and we can say that k must be less than minus 4. So because as you can see, that this y-intercept is at, the turning point is at minus 4 on the y-axis, and that is why we want to draw this horizontal line below the turning point, because of the fact that the roots must be non-real. In the next question, number 3, it is given to us that fx plus t is equal to 0. Now, fx represents the parabola, so I'm going to keep it there, and the t I'm going to transpose to the right-hand side. Now, if you want to, you may even substitute the equation of the parabola in here instead of the fx. It's not necessary, but then you will notice the question is almost the same as the previous one. Only difference is, in the previous one, it was equal to k. Now, x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to minus t. So this is now our horizontal line, will not be k, but minus t. Question is, where are we going to draw it? They say the roots must be equal. Now, for equal roots, so we're going to draw our horizontal line, this horizontal line of y equal to minus t. We're going to draw it right at the turning point. So we're going to draw that horizontal line right there. And the name of this line is y equal to minus t. So that means we can now write down our answer. Please remember, like in the previous one, non-real roots, we draw below the turning point. Equal roots, we draw at the turning point. So let's write down the answer of this question. So we can now say that minus t must be equal to negative 4. And you can see where the negative 4 is coming from. The negative 4 is this y value of the turning point, which is negative 4. And then we can say t is equal to 4. So if t is equal to 4, the roots will be equal. Let's look at number 4. In question number 4, they ask us, for which values of m will x squared plus 2x plus m be equal to 0 have two unequal roots? So that is really important, the two unequal real roots. And you remember, we're going to draw the horizontal line above the turning point for that. Important that we first going to rewrite this equation a little bit so that we have the equation of the parabola on the left-hand side. So that means I'm going to say x squared plus 2x is equal to negative m, if you move the m to the right-hand side. And now to get the parabola, we need to subtract 3 on both sides. So we say minus 3, and then it's the minus m minus 3. Now, as you can see now, that in this form now, we have the parabola equal to a constant. And remember, as from the second part of this question, that constant was k. In the third part, it was negative t. And now it is minus m minus 3. So we're going to do it exactly the same way. We just need to determine where we're going to draw our line. And this line will be y equal to minus m minus 3. And we're going to draw the line above the turning point. And the reason for that is because the roots must be unequal, two unequal roots. So that means that the equation of this line is y equal to minus m minus 3 for the unequal roots. So now we can write down our answer. So we can say now that this minus m minus 3, you can see that is the constant, must be, and that y value of the turning point is at minus 4. So that means this must be greater than minus 4. And then just manipulation to solve for m. So negative m is greater than minus 1. And when we divide with the negative, the m will be less than positive 1. And with that, we are finished with this problem. And I believe that this is quite easy for all of you. Thank you.